And we're back with more Movie Show Plus. Greg Russell here, and today I've got a very special guest, the one and only Kerry Washington. How are you?
I'm well.
Great. Good to see you.
And you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, and thank you for just being here. We're the most thankless folks, aren't we? We love it. And also, thank you for doing your new movie.
Well, yeah, this was a profound honor to be included in this cast, this dream team of acting. When I got the phone call, I said, of course, of course, of course, of course. Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously it was a hit play as well, and now it's been turned into a movie for colored girls.
That's right. The original play was for colored girls who consider suicide when the rainbow is enough.
Right.
That's too long for a movie poster. So we shortened it for the film.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because that would kind of like be going on the back.
Yeah, you'd have to turn the poster that way, and yeah.
And it's got quite an ensemble cast, and I mean, everybody's story is so different and unique.
Yeah, I think that's part of what's so special about it is that, in a way, just the fact that the film exists kind of destroys the stereotype, any stereotype of the woman of color, because you can't, a stereotype can't exist in a world where you have these fully realized women, so many of them with these rich, different lives. So.
And the thing is, and like you said, everybody's different. I mean, you've got people like yourself, social worker, married to a police officer.
Played by the very talented and handsome Hill Harper.
There you go.
Yes. Hi, Hill. Yes.
Hey, Hill. But like you said, now she's got, her profession, he's got his. And your character, of course, is trying to do the best she can, for people. But then she herself even has some damages from other things in her life.
That's right. That's right. There really is a sense in this film of the ripple effect of pain. That one person's pain can often have an effect on the people around them, and it ripples out exponentially. And I think a lot of what the film is about figuring out how to be in community of healing as opposed to community of perpetuating pain. So these women, although we start out the film not really knowing each other, not really being familiar with each other, through our pain we realize that we don't have to be alone, that we don't have to do it alone, and that we can really support each other, which is just such a beautiful message, I think.
Also, this has got to be the dream team of female actors.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, tell me about working with all these different folks.
It was
from Felicia
pretty
Rashad to
amazing.
Whoopi to
I know,
you name
Whoopi,
it.
Felicia Rashad, Loretta Devine, Kimberly Elise, Tandy Newton. I mean, it was really fun because a lot of these women literally are the reason that I do what I do. I mean, I knew Whoopi Goldberg's one-woman play on Broadway back and forth, had the whole show memorized. I would, The Cosby Show was one of the few television shows that my mom and dad would let me watch. We always tease Loretta Devine that there isn't a movie she hasn't been in.
Right.
She's in every movie ever made. I remember being a teenager and seeing Kimberly in Set It Off, and that becoming kind of a cult classic. So it's all of these women who have been kind of lighthouses for me, and to be able to be in community with them and to be creating work alongside them it was a real honor, and we all were very supportive of each other, very respectful, that each person had a different way of acting, a different way of approaching the craft, but we were really supportive and respectful and encouraging. It was almost like running a marathon where you'd come in and you'd hear about some incredible work that Anika did the day before, and then she'd pass you the baton and say, have a good day. And you'd get on set and you'd do you'd bring your A game, and that was really what we did for each other. And much thanks to Tyler, because Tandy and I were joking that often I'll get the call, well, it's down to you and Tandy, or it's down to you and Anika. And thanks to Tyler, there's room for all of us.
All of you.
We don't have to compete. It's like, wow, for once there is actually room at the table for all of us to come and bring all that we have to offer, thanks to him.
Wow. And now speaking, of course, of Tyler Perry,
Yeah.
who directed this, what was that like with you working with him?
It was really very profound, because he is the guy who could get this movie made. He has built up enough capital in this industry, enough power and success, that he's the kind of person who can say, I want to do this, and I know that people have been trying to get it done for 30 years and nobody's been able to do it, but I'm going to do it. And we are so lucky that the man who could get it done was also the right person to do it, because he really loves and respects women.
Mm-hmm.
He is an actor's director, so he was very sensitive to our process and to what we would need. And he really understood the material and believed in us and could put all of his creative and kind of power behind the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is one of those where you're going to go in and at least one story, if not all, and if anything, all the stories of all these particular women, something's going to hit you.
Yeah, no matter who you are. I mean,
right.
I think we've been saying that when we say for colored girls, we're not actually talking about women of color.
Right.
We're actually talking about the colors of the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about those days when you have the blues, those
mm-hmm.
days when you're red with rage, those days when you're green with envy. You know, those are the colors that are embodied in the film, those rich emotional experiences. So whoever you are, you can go in and see yourself or somebody you love in the film, definitely.
And another character in the film is also that apartment building.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the important messages of the film actually is you have all of these women who live in the same space but don't really know each other, or they work in the same office and they don't really know each other, or they live on the same block. And suddenly you realize in the film that there can be things going on for that person sitting next to you or that person living across the hall, and you have no idea the depth of what they're going through. So for me, part of the joy of the film is going, you know, that woman who snaps at you at the lunch counter or who's mean to you on the escalator, you know, she might actually have her own journey going on, and you might want to just kind of give her the space and the respect to know that we're all doing the best we can.
Right.
So,
like I said, very enjoyable, and like I said, touching, a little bit of humor in certain parts, but I mean, just a whole great film.
oh,
Kerry
glad
Washington,
you
thank
enjoyed
you
it.
very much.
Thank you.
And please come back anytime.
I would love to.
All right.
Okay.
And we'll be back with more Movie Show Plus in just a moment. For Colored Girls, go see it.